Look very closely to the leaves, you see the progressing yellowing from the lower leaves as you go up. Okay? If it's a fungal disease and it's spread by wind, it would probably start from the top leaves, and there will be the disease progress will occur from the middle leaves going up. Okay, but for these plants, most of the symptoms progress from the bottom going up. Okay, but when you look also, there's yellowing. So fungal diseases have lesions that develop on leaves, but for these plants, we see that they're yellowing. Okay, so that's a symptom that probably would tell us that it's a viral disease. Most of the yellowing symptoms are caused by viruses. And so I wanted to start on that point and add on what Ada said about viral diseases. So the main virus disease we have on winter wheat and spring wheat is caused by wheat streak mosaic virus. And this virus is spread by little mites called the wheat cow mites that you can't see with your own eyes. You need to put a leaf that has mites under the microscope in order to see these. Okay. And the spreading, the infection happens in fall, during, after planting. These little bugs, I don't know if they are called bugs, but they are spread by wind. Okay, so the wind blows them, and usually the infection will happen close to the edge of the field, going into the field. Okay. So if you see plants with symptoms like this now, it's too late to do anything. But one way to control the wheat streak mosaic virus is make sure that we eliminate the volunteer wheat. Okay. And then Ada mentioned the time of planting. If you can delay a little bit of planting so that the mites will not move into our young wheat that is emerging in fall. So that's wheat streak mosaic virus. The other virus is barley yellow dwarf that's spread by aphids. Okay. If you look at the symptoms of a barley yellow dwarf, the leaves will have some purpling along the edges of the leaves. And this usually happens after flowering. That's when the symptoms become so distinct. You can tell them apart from other viruses. This morning, Roger brought some samples for me to look at, and straight away I could tell it was a virus because those plants are stunted, they are yellowing, and they might get diseases, fungal diseases infecting those plants. In fact, I had a healthy tiller to show you. The healthy tiller looks very clean, nothing on it, but the tillers with virus have also tan spot on them because the virus makes the plants susceptible to other diseases. Okay, so it's really important to avoid volunteer wheat and also to delay planting if you know that wheat streak is a problem on your field. So moving on from virus diseases, I'm going to talk about 3 different types of diseases: the root and crown diseases, leaf spot diseases, and then Fusarium head blight, which infects the wheat head. So if I may ask, how many of us here did a seed treatment of winter wheat before planting? So quite a number of you have done seed treatment. So just like Adam mentioned, seed treatment helps winter wheat to protect it since it's in the soil for a long time. But also research that has been done at South Dakota State University and other universities in the region show that the probability of making a profit out of seed treatment is about 50%. So return to investment for seed treatment is not always guaranteed. So we encourage seed treatment if you have a history of seedling diseases. Okay, so you have crown rot, you have tick all, you have common rot on your field, probably you should do seed treatment. But if you plan on planting a little later and your field has no history of seedling diseases, you're probably safe not doing seed treatment. But seed treatment is always what they call cheap insurance. If you have it, you'll be safe if you have a problem. But if you don't have a problem, you know, so it's always, there's some risks that you kind of avoid, but It all depends on these many factors that you combine together and determine if you really need a fungicide seed treatment. So that's about seed treatment and seedling diseases or root diseases. Now, when we come to foliar diseases, so this is where we have tan spot, this is where we have spot blotch, rust diseases. Now, those diseases can impact yield, okay? And a fungicide protection can help to, save some bushels from wheat. But here comes the problem of applying a fungicide when there's not a significant disease present in the field. I overheard, I don't know if it was Roger or somebody, that they missed applying a fungicide here at Flagleaf. But when I walked through, I didn't see any need for a fungicide treatment, and plants look really good. Okay, so I would recommend a fungicide treatment at Flagleaf if you see disease on the second leaf or the first leaf below the flag leaf. Okay, so if you just separate the plants within the row and see disease that is developing, mainly it will be probably powdery mildew or tan spot, then probably you may want to apply a fungicide to protect the flag leaf, because flag leaf is the main contributor to yield. So if we protect it from fungal infection, you'll be pretty safe, okay? But again, it should depend on if the disease is developing in the lower parts of the plant, and also if the weather conditions are called for severe disease development. So if you have many rainy days and it's wet and humid, those are really good, it's a good recipe for disease to develop. So the last set of diseases that I'll talk about will be the wheat head diseases. And the biggest one of these is the wheat scab. Okay. So wheat scab is caused by a fungal disease, the Fusarium. Okay, so that's where it gets its name, Fusarium head blight. And the infection has a very small window. And this is 1 week before flowering and 1 week after flowering. So if you're timing your fungicide application, it has to be done within this period, or else it won't be effective. Okay, so an early application of a fungicide to control scab is not going to help, and the later application of a fungicide is also not going to help. So you really need to time your field. So I'm talking of really scouting and being out in the field to see what's going on. Okay. There's a tool, a national tool that predicts the risk of scab in the whole of the United States. And it's available on iGrow website, and you can look to see what's the predicted risk, and it can help you to determine when is it useful or when is it beneficial to apply a fungicide against Fusarium head blight. Now we recommend triazoles for spraying against Fusarium head blight. Okay, most strobilurins are not effective as triazoles, so Caramba. Those or Prosaro, those would be really good against scab. So with that, I don't know if you have any quick questions, and then we can reserve questions for later. But we have given out a handout that really helps you to identify different diseases and how you can manage them. So if I can summarize, you really want to scout and take records of what major problems you have, so that next time you can know, should I delay planting if I have a problem of root diseases or wheat streak mosaic virus? Okay. And then the other thing is also the risk of a wheat stubble and corn stubble, which can be source of inoculum for tan spot and Fusarium head blight. If you have those conditions, then you really want to think applying a fungicide earlier or in a time that will be effective to manage these diseases.